Srimathe Ramanujaya Namaha, Srimad Varavara Munaye Namaha, Srimad Lokarya Mahagurave Namaha. 18th Pasuram of Thiruppavai starts with UndhuMadhaKalirran Vodada Tholvaliyan. This Pasuram and the next two, Kuttuvilakkiriya number 19 and Muppathu number 20. All these three Pasurams are many a times done as a single unit. These three talk about the glories of Pirati Vaibhavam. And specifically the 18th Pasuram talks about Purushakara Vaibhavam. Purushakaram means mediation. She is the one that mediates between us, the Jivatmas, and Perumal, Sriman Narayana. So in the 18th Pasuram, there are a lot of references to the mediation that Sita Pirati does, and those form the avatarikai or the introduction to the Vyakyanams that have been given by our Purvacharyas. Now, we never got a chance to talk about the various commentaries. Where do we learn all of these references to Sri Ramayanam and such in all of these previous Pasurams? Today's Pasuram is an apt one to talk about that. There are 4 primary commentaries to Tiruppavai. The first one is written by the Acharya called Periyavachan Pillai. He is known as the Paramakarunikar. And he is Paramakarunikar because he is the one that wrote the commentary for all the 4000 Divya Prabandha Pasurams. For Tiruppavai, he did a commentary that is called Moovaayirappadi. And then the next commentary was written by another great Acharya called Azhagiya Manavala Perumal Nayanar. He is the younger brother of Pillailokam. Pillailokam has given us 18 Rahasya Granthams. And his brother Azhagiya Manavala Perumal Nayanar has given a magnum opus called Acharya Hridayam. In addition to that, he has written other commentaries, and his Tiruppavai commentary is called Aarayirappadi. This Aarayirappadi has no equivalent. It is so good with references to Sri Ramayanam, to Srimad Bhagavatam, to Alvar's Divya Prabandhams and to Stotrams. It's everywhere. It takes a special bhagyam to be able to enjoy all of those commentaries. So it is the grace of our Acharyas that these commentaries are available today and we are able to quote from them. The next 2 Vyakyanams, the commentaries, have been given by an Acharya called I. Jananyacharya. I. Jananyacharya has written 2 commentaries. The same Acharya has written 2 commentaries for Tiruppavai. The first one is called Irayirappadi, and then the next one is called Nalayirappadi. So together, all of these 4 Vyakyanams, and in addition, the first Jiyar of Vanamamalai Mutt. He is fondly known as Ponnadikkal Jiyar. Ponnadikkal Jiyar has given the Swapadesam or the inner meanings for the Pasurams. Together, they form the treasure trove of Tiruppavai meanings, and most of the Tiruppavai Upanyasams are based on these commentaries. And in these commentaries, we will find all of these references to Sri Ramayanam. Now, for this Pasuram, the 18th Pasuram that starts with UndhuMadhaKalirran, Azhagiya Manavala Perumal Nayanar's commentary in the Aarayirappadi is splendid. It's splendid. There are no words to describe the magnificence of his commentary. So, Adiyen is going to explain just the introduction part that he has given, and just in the introduction part we are going to see all the glories of Pirati, and we are going to see how this Pasuram, the UndhuMadhaKalirran Pasuram, connects so well to Sri Ramayanam. Adiyen apologizes upfront because we've already talked about this for so long. I know in this day and age we don't really have the time and the energy and the mental span to be able to listen to long upanyasams. So Adiyen will try to keep it as short as possible, and I ask for apologies upfront that today's episode sort of ran a little long even at the beginning. Now, let's go into the Pasuram itself, or rather the introductory commentary that is called the Avatarikai. So in the previous Pasuram, Andal and her team of Gopikas, they woke up Nandagopa, Baladeva, Yashoda Pirati, etc. Now, when she woke them up, Krishna still did not wake up. Krishna did not wake up because besides Krishna is lying Nappinnai Pirati or Neela Devi, the Amsam of Neela Devi. So she is lying, and hence Krishna is staying quiet because it is through Pirati who is the mediator. Mediator means one who connects us with somebody else, right? In this case, the mediation that Pirati does is she would go and plead for us to Sriman Narayana. In this case, Neela Devi would be the one that will do that pleading on behalf of us to Krishna. And when one surrenders to Krishna, one should always surrender through Neela Devi or Nappinnai Pirati. So now Krishna is quiet because they've not yet approached Neela Devi, and she is the Purushakara Bhutai. They've not approached Nappinnai yet. And so he is waiting for them to go and approach Nappinnai Pirati. Because it does not matter, regardless of them approaching the other, the Amsams of the Nitya Suris like Baladeva, one has to get the grace of Sita Pirati to get the result of whatever you're asking for. It is called Phalam. In order to get the Phalam, you have to go through Pirati. Now, what will enable us to surrender to such Pirati? So, Adiyen Perumal Nayanar says that it is only through her nirhetuka kripai, through nothing else. It's not because of our efforts. It's because of Nappinnai Pirati's nirhetuka kripai can one surrender to her. Nirhetuka kripai means causeless mercy. So we just need to have the desire and the mercy will come all in place. This does not mean that desire is a pre-qualification, but when her grace falls on us, all of this will automatically fall in place. And the reference to Sri Ramayanam here is when Hanuman goes in search of Sita Pirati. So first he goes and searches all over Ravana's palace because he thinks, oh, this great princess who is the wife of Sri Rama, where would Ravana have kept her? He would have kept her in a very appropriate place like his palace. So he searches all over in the palace first, but he does not find her. And he's very dejected. And he searches all over. And then he surrenders to Sita Pirati mentally and he says, Namostu Ramaya sa Lakshmanaya Devyai cha tasyai Janakatmajaye. So he bows to Rama who is with Lakshmana. Namostu Ramaya sa Lakshmanaya. Sa means with. Rama who is with Lakshmana. And then he says, Devyai cha tasyai Janakatmajaye. Oh, the daughter of Janaka Maharaja, to that Pirati I bow. Devyai cha tasyai Janakatmajaye. He does this and Pirati's kripai falls on Hanuman. Once the kripai falls on Hanuman, then what happens? Then he is able to spot the Ashokavanam and he is able to spot Sita Pirati there. So it is because of her nirhetuka kripai that he was even able to find her. Similarly, this is in the goal space because here Hanuman's goal is to find Sita Pirati. Even when we retrace the story back, when Lakshmana wants to come to the forest, they woke up Baladeva in the previous Pasuram, right? So that Baladeva was none other than Lakshmana in the previous avataram, in the Sri Rama avataram, where he was born as the younger brother of Rama, Lakshmana. And when Lakshmana wants to go to the forest, at first Rama refuses and then he is able to go only when he surrenders onto the lotus feet of Sri Sita Pirati Sametha Sri Rama. He says, Sita Muvacha Tishaya Ha Raghavancha Mahavratam. So only after he surrenders through Sita Pirati does Rama agree to bring Lakshmana with him to the forest. Now let's take the case of Kakasura. Kakasura is a crow who is the son of Indra. his original name is Jayanta. He takes the form of a crow and comes and pecks on Sita Pirati's breasts. So Sita Pirati first does not want to wake up Rama, but then eventually Rama wakes up. He gets very mad, and then he throws a piece of grass that becomes the Brahmastra, and the Brahmastra chases the crow across all worlds. Nobody is able to help him. Finally, the crow gets super tired, and by this time the crow figures out that nobody can help him. When nobody can help him, what would it do? It comes back to the person that wielded the Brahmastra in the first place. At that time, so he comes and surrenders, and Sita Pirati, out of her immense grace, she shifts the position of the head such that the crow's head touches the feet of Sri Rama. And because of her mercy, even though this crow did such a huge apacharam of pecking on Sita Pirati's chest, he gets a pardon. He is worthy of killing, because if you think about it, the offense that is committed by Ravana and the offense that's committed by this crow are the same. Ravana wanted Sita Pirati. He had a lust towards her, and similarly this crow also tortured her because of the lust that it had. But the crow was pardoned, whereas Ravana was not, and that is because the crow had the grace of Sita Pirati, while Ravana did not have that. And not just that, even if we take the case of Sugriva, with Sugriva, he did not have a kingdom. He was living in the forest in Kishkinta, and he did not have an army. He was living in hiding. When Sita Pirati was abducted by Ravana, and at that point in time, she goes over, she is flying up in the air with Ravana is taking her there, and she removes all her jewelry, and all her jewelry falls in the place of Sugriva. Sugriva and his army, they collect all of those jewelries and they keep them very safe. Then later, when Hanuman brings Rama and Lakshmana, it is through these jewelry, Sugriva shows all of this jewelry, and that's how he identifies that the one that was abducted by Ravana is actually Sita Pirati. So he also had the association of Sita Pirati, and when he takes Rama as a friend and asks for help in defeating Vali, he already had the grace of Sita Pirati. He already had that association through the jewelry that she herself dropped down. And then, now you may have the question. So then, what about Hanuman? Surely Hanuman did not see Sita Pirati when he first saw Rama and Lakshmana. He was blown away by their beauty. He asked the question. Remember, we talked about this in a previous episode where he asked the question, who are you? You look like you are princes. You look like you are deities who are just walking down, and you look like you should be adorned. Why aren't you covering yourself with all those beautiful ornaments? But then, at that time, when Hanuman fell in love with Rama and Lakshmana, it is because of their beauty. Similar to how Shurpanaka was blown away by their beauty and she wanted Rama for herself. That was really the attitude of Hanuman at the time, until he goes to Lanka and he finds Sita Pirati. When he finds Sita Pirati, when he sees the first time, then he is moved. He is in tears. Sita Mashritya Tejasvi. So he is moved and he is in tears looking at the plight of Sita. When that happens, he undergoes a mental purification, a psychological purification. Then when he introduces himself to Sita Pirati, after reciting all of the Ramayana stories to make sure that he can gain her trust, he says, Dhuto Ramasya, that is, he is the messenger of Rama. And then that's when Sita Pirati and Hanuman have a conversation. And at the end of their conversation, by the end of their conversation, he has so much kripai blessed on him that he is a completely transformed person. For so long, he was talking about him being the Dhuta or the messenger of Sri Rama. But after this point, after Sita Pirati's grace fell on him, at that time, he transforms, and then when he goes and causes havoc in the Ashokavana, at that point, all of Ravana's soldiers are sent, and at that point, he proclaims that he is Dasoham Kosalendrasya. He says, I am a Dasa, I am a servant of Sri Rama. Prior to that, he called himself a messenger of Sri Rama, but now he says, Dasoham Kosalendrasya Ramasya Krishta Karmanaha Hanuman Shatru Sainyanam Mihanta Marutatmajaha. I, who's the Dasa, the servant of Sri Rama, I am going to destroy all the Shatru Sainyam. That is, I'm going to destroy all of the enemy army. So such transformation is only possible when Pirati's grace falls upon a person. Now let's take the case of Shurpanaka. Shurpanaka did not want Sita. She only wanted Rama. She fell just for the beauty. So she was destroyed. Similarly, Ravana, he did not want Perumal. He just wanted Pirati. Because of that, he also met his end. Whereas Vibhishana surrendered to both of them. When he surrendered to both of them, what that really means is that he had Sita Pirati, he had already gotten into the good books of Sita Pirati, and keeping her in mind is how he surrendered to Sri Rama. And because of that, he got a good position. He got a good position in the sense he became the advisor for Rama. He fought along with Rama's army, and then at the end, he was even given the kingdom of Lanka. And beyond all this, after that time, we all call him, our Acharyas have called him Vibhishana Alvan. So such is the glory that's been bestowed upon Vibhishana. And all of that is because he sought the unification of both of them. And then, even when you can see all of the Arvars, all of them surrender to Emperman through the grace of Pirati. Now, moving on to the specific Pasuram. So now, Krishna is quiet because he wants all of these Gopikas to take Pirati as the mediator and then come to him. So they do just that. And why they need to take Pirati as the mediator and the benefits of taking Pirati as the mediator and getting the phalam or the fruits was what Adiyen described so long. Now that they are understanding it, now they go and wake Pirati up first. So when they try to wake Pirati up, they say, Vandhu Thiruppavai Magazhilor Empavai Sirar Valayolippa Vandhu Thiruppavai Magazhilor Empavai. So let us also reflect on Sita Pirati's glories and the unison of Perumal and Pirati, and surrender onto their lotus feet. Andal Tirupadigalai Sharanam.